Now, talking about Joe Biden would make a lot of people wish that Donald Trump was back. I mean, he was brash, erratic, untruthful, but at least understood power, and America's enemies feared him. And on the weekend, Trump spoke out on Fox News. This is a taste of his rage at what Biden has done in Afghanistan.
The most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to our country. We look like fools all over the world. We're weak. We're pathetic. We're being led by people that have no idea what they're doing. They take the military out, and then they say, now we'll bring out the people, and all of a sudden the Taliban walks in. We had the Taliban so under control, they wouldn't have moved without getting our approval. We had an incredible agreement. They weren't killing our soldiers, you know that, and it was part of it. In fact, Biden actually said that today. He said they weren't killing them because of the agreement that we had, that we did, and hadn't killed one of our soldiers in many, many, many months.
But Donald Trump has given another interview, the first with an Australian journalist since he lost the election. The first sit-down one with Sky News host Sharri Markson for a documentary on Sky News in September, What Really Happened in Wuhan, to coincide with a new book by the same name about the theory that the virus leaked from a Chinese lab in that city. Now, it seems from our promo that Sharri asked the president some tough questions.
Do you regret now not paying closer attention?
Sharri Markson's worldwide search for the truth.
Sharri Markson, Sky News host and investigations editor for the Australian newspaper, joins me now. Sharri, congratulations on your scoop interview. Now, I'm sure you're going to want to keep your surprises until your documentary, but let me ask you this. Is it a great coup that he wanted to speak to you, and why did he?
Look, I think interviewing the president or the former president on the origins of COVID-19 and what happened in Wuhan was such a crucial interview. And I've been trying to speak to him for some time. I was trying to interview him for my book. I interviewed for the book virtually every senior figure in the White House except for the president. But luckily, we were finally able to make this happen for the documentary for Sky News. And that'll be on air in just 3 weeks tonight, 8 o'clock on September 20. So, I was very grateful that he gave us the time. He was very open, Andrew, very accommodating. He answered all of the questions I had, and I did cross-examine him about, when and how the virus broke out according to the information that was presented to him, and what he found was most convincing in terms of the intelligence that was presented to him. Because, Andrew, a lot of people ridicule Trump for coming out in late April last year and saying that there was evidence for a lab leak. But, he was the president. He was privy to every bit of top secret classified intelligence. So his view on this, on what convinced him, is very important. And it's worth noting that Joe Biden became president. Joe Biden and the Democrats had dismissed the idea that the virus might have come from a Wuhan lab for the majority of 2020 for political reasons. But Biden gets into office, he looks at the exact same evidence, same intelligence, and he says, look, there is a reason to investigate that. And as you know, his 90-day probe was just completed Saturday morning our time, and it found that both theories, a natural origin and a Wuhan lab leak, are equally as plausible. And the intelligence agencies, the intelligence community, there's 18 agencies, they remain divided on the origin.
Yeah, I can't help but believe that some of them didn't want to believe it and came to too preliminary a view because it was Donald Trump that they didn't want to help. So we shall see what he told you, and I look forward to that documentary in 3 weeks' time. But tell me this too. This is a man who was humiliated losing the election. He seemed half crazy for a while. He wasn't accepting it. How did you find him now?
Look, he was very relaxed. He was, in a very reasonable, good mood. I spent, more than half an hour with him. I think we were sitting there in total for about 38 minutes. You monitor the clock closely when you're doing an interview. And he was very relaxed, in a good mood. He was open, accommodating. And, my book is critical in many ways of the White House, the administration under his watch. And it goes into some detail about how they handled the outbreak in the early days, how they were trusting China. I mean, we forget, but Trump was praising Xi Jinping, saying that China was being transparent and cooperative when it couldn't have been further from the truth. So it does go into detail about that and the point at which that switched, and at the point at which Trump started to say, oh, hold on here, you know, they're not being transparent. We need to hold them to account. So there are a lot of questions about what went on behind the scenes. But, you know, Andrew, he answered all of the questions. It was great to interview him. And it's like a lot of people, you know, when you watch these figures so closely.
Look, I can't wait. It was a tremendous coup for you. Congratulations. You've been so dogged on this. He's copped a lot of rubbish about his theory. So did you. And good on both of you. Thank you for your time.